Welcome. So today we're going to talk about former Vice President Kamala Harris.
That's right. She just gave her first, really major address since the 2024 election cycle ended.
And this was a pretty significant setting, wasn't it?
It was. It took place in San Francisco at the Emerge America 20th Anniversary Gala.
Okay, and Emerge America, for those who might not know, what's their main focus?
Well, they're an organization primarily focused on recruiting and training Democratic women to run for political office, so a very political audience.
Right, so the venue itself sends a bit of a signal.
Absolutely. And, this speech really marked her return to the main political stage.
Because she'd been relatively quiet since the election loss, correct?
That's fair to say. A lower public profile, certainly.
Less direct commentary on, say, the current Trump administration's actions.
Very little, actually. Before this speech, she'd largely, kept her thoughts on specific policies private, or at least not very public.
Interesting. So this speech was a real shift in that sense.
Definitely. A deliberate step back into the national conversation.
And just a quick reminder, if you find this discussion interesting or valuable, please do consider liking and subscribing. It helps others find it.
Good point. So diving into the speech itself, what were the key themes she hit on?
Well, she didn't really hold back on criticisms of the current administration.
No, she didn't. A major point, maybe the central one, was this idea that fundamental American ideals are being, abandoned.
Abandoned, that's strong language. Did she elaborate on what she meant by that?
She did touch on a few areas. One big one was the economy, specifically tariffs.
The tariffs, yes. What was her concern there?
She expressed pretty serious concern that these trade policies could actually push the economy towards a recession.
Towards a recession. Okay, so linking tariffs directly to potential broader economic harm.
Exactly. That was a very clear warning she sounded.
Were there other major points of criticism beyond the economy?
Yes. Another significant one was the relationship between the executive branch and the courts.
The judicial system. What was the specific worry there?
She warned about the potential for what she termed a constitutional crisis.
A constitutional crisis stemming from conflicts with the judiciary.
Right. Stemming from ongoing tensions, conflicts, challenges to, the judicial system's role or independence.
So ideals, economy, potential constitutional issues, quite a broad critique.
It really covered a lot of ground, focusing on these sort of foundational aspects of governance and national identity.
Did she offer any sense of direction, or was it purely critical?
Oh, there was definitely a call to action, particularly aimed at Democrats.
Okay. What was the message there?
She urged them to remain united, to stand together.
Unity. Okay. And anything else?
Yes. Also courage, to show courage and resilience in facing these challenges she'd outlined. Don't back down, essentially.
So it wasn't just critique, but also a rallying cry for her party.
Precisely. Part critique, part morale booster, you could say.
Now, whenever a figure like Harris gives a speech like this, especially after time away, there's always talk about, what's next?
Oh, absolutely. The speculation machine kicked into high gear almost immediately.
What kind of speculation are we hearing?
Well, the usual suspects, perhaps. There's talk about a potential run for governor of California.
Right, her home state. That seems plausible.
And then, of course, there's the bigger question.
The presidency. Future campaigns down the line.
Exactly. Whether this signals an interest in another run for the White House eventually.
So this speech is being read as more than just commentary on the present moment.
Very much so. It's seen by many, I think, as a clear sign that she intends to stay deeply involved.
To remain a significant player within the Democratic Party.
Yes, and in the broader national political discussion. This wasn't a farewell address by any means.
It sounds like she's positioning herself to be a leading voice, perhaps in opposition, perhaps for something else down the road.
That seems to be the widespread interpretation, yes. Keeping her options open, staying relevant, and shaping the narrative.
Okay, so let's just quickly recap the main takeaways for everyone listening.
Sure. So the core of the speech was Harris's critique of the Trump administration.
Right, focusing on what she called the abandonment of American ideals.
Correct. And then the specific concerns about tariffs potentially causing an economic recession.
And the warning about a possible constitutional crisis related to conflicts with the court.
Exactly. Plus that call for Democrats to stay united and show courage.
And wrapping it all up is the context, this speech-fueling talk about her future political plans.
Governor, president. It puts her back in that conversation, signaling she's not stepping away from national politics.
It certainly seems to indicate she intends to remain a key figure to watch.
No doubt about that. It was a clear statement of continued engagement.
Well, thank you for walking us through that. A really important speech to understand in the current landscape.
Glad to discuss it. It definitely sets a marker for her role moving forward.
And for everyone listening, if you found this breakdown helpful, please do remember to like this discussion and subscribe for more analyses like this one.
It helps us continue bringing these conversations to you.
Indeed. Thank you again for joining us.
My pleasure.
We look forward to having you with us next time.